Okay, so this is a random vlog because I'm honest, I've got to stay awake for a live stream. So there's one or two things on my mind, so I thought I'd just open the voice recorder and see what happens. Now, if you saw the January review, I was talking about how right from the word go in January, there were all sorts of hits on the debunking community. I mean, there always are, but I don't know, it seemed to be full pelt last month. And it seems to be continuing. Now, I put a vlog out last week about expanding the community or expanding people who were to be watched that weren't necessarily always part of the obvious list of channels. The last few days, there's been, well, the last couple of weeks, I've kind of been doing my usual and largely watching from afar. And I'll be honest, I've also been tired. I've had flu for about 6 weeks now. So maybe I'm just feeling a little bit more tetchy than usual. But around the middle of last week, I was starting to get a little bit concerned about the way things were going. I'm not saying I was concerned about the debunking community. I wasn't. But there just seemed to be so much flux around it. But the irony is, over the weekend and over the last couple of days, it just seems to be one of those communities that you throw fire at it, it just gets stronger because the community is so tight-knit and supports each other. And I'm sure that, you know, there'll be people like me that, you know, some people will be watching everybody, some people will be concentrating on one or two channels and just dipping into others when they want to. I am seeing a little bit of difference in some of the live streams. I'm seeing, and it's great, I'm seeing new names pop up. And I think some people are concentrating. I mean, it's also life, you know, it's time. You can't watch every single live stream or video. And I mean, I can watch a lot at the moment, but in a couple of months' time, I'm going to have to start picking and choosing. Because I'm pretty much nocturnal right now. Every time I think I'll go to bed, somebody announces they're going live at 1 a.m. or something. But all of the flux in the community, and all the hits and all the aggravation just seems to have made the community stronger and just bounce back. And it's also made a difference with some of the channels, I think. It's not that they weren't doing it before, but, you know, I'm watching responses from creators, from debunkers, that so proud that not rising to, some of them aren't rising to the bait. They're just shrugging and analysing and commenting really thoroughly. I mean, probably more, actually. Beardo's response to the Cody and Satori interview was just outstanding. 1,200 people watched that premiere. 1,200 people watched Beardo concisely and thoroughly pull that interview apart. And he was not in the least bit toxic, not in the least bit, not that I would expect him to be, by the way, but it was just so well done. And, you know, a premiere with 1,200 people watching, it being done that well, that's a massive advert for how the community really is. I've watched Crow with the Cody and Satori interview. Sum everything up. I mean, I sometimes with, especially even if it's the larger incidents, you sometimes look and you think, oh, there's another channel that's doing the same topic. I need to move on. But when I've seen people do it with the same topic, it's getting to the point where people are now doing it in their own way. When Crow looked at the Cody and Satori video, not only was he analysing it from his own terms, he was also that was also a live premiere, and it was a recorded video, but Crow was in the chat and chatting with I think about 170 people hit that chat, all commenting on the video, all exchanging opinions. And Crow not only did his own analysis of it in the video, he summarised what some of the other debunkers had been saying and had been pointing out. It's nice to see the debunking channels look to vary from each other, to look at these things from different perspectives with different methods. And I have said that before about looking at the different ways people do things, whether it's from an investigator's point of view, whether it's from debunker's point of view, whether it's from researcher's point of view. And it's becoming really evident where the skills are being used and where people are drawing from their own experiences when they're debunking and commenting on these occurrences. I'm not going to mention, I've done a skit on the Cody and Satori thing. I will mention it briefly when I do the February review, which I'll probably start next week because we're not far from the end of the month. But I don't know, it's been a very quick turnaround for me for being, oh no, what's happening? Is it all, are the wheels coming off? To, no, what happens, and I'm not in the least bit surprised, but what happens is when, problems are nearby, just makes people tougher, but not in an aggressive way. So I think why I'm so proud, it's not been in an aggressive way on the whole. It's not been in a, that old word, toxic way. It's being in a constructive and with expertise. And as angry as some people have got, and as upset as some people have got, the arguments are being so clearly laid out when there's problems, when there's issues to be addressed. Really proud of this community right now. The other video, and I'll probably mention this in the review, but the other video I want to shout out is Doof Doof Paranormal. Also did a commentary on the Cody and Satori interview, and I'll put a link for all three of those Cody and Satori videos in the description. I know most people here won't need them, but just in case, please go and have a look. And it's not just the Cody and Satori incident, it's just that's the one where that are clearest in my mind because I've just watched them. But, there is something else I want to say, and that is all of us, because I've kind of got my foot in both camps now, sort of a very small channel that's hopefully will continue to grow, but also very much a viewer, a subscriber, a member of the community. The channels need your support, and I don't just mean clicking the subscribe button. Look after each other. You don't have to have group hugs. You're not going to get on with everybody. No, that doesn't happen in life. But look after each other, because the reason this community works is that when the chips are down, we stand together. Nobody's going to like every creator. Nobody's going to like every channel. You may be in a live stream. You may be looking in chat and thinking, oh, I'm not sure about this person, or oh, they're a bit annoying, or, their jokes are terrible, or whatever. They might be thinking about that about you. They might be thinking about that about me. But at the end of the day, for this community to work, if somebody, treat it like, the people from the outside, people who aren't part of the debunking community and don't like the debunking community will always take this the wrong way, but see it as I don't know, I'm trying to think of the word, because I don't want to use the word cult or society, or just treat it as a group where at the end of the day it's the group that matters, and individual differences shouldn't get in the way of that. Whether it's between, viewers, or whether it's between creators, or whether it's between viewers and creators. I sometimes try and find another word other than debunking community, because for me personally, it's more than about debunking. It's about treating paranormal investigations and investigating the unexplained seriously, and allowing people to have their differences of views, of beliefs, of opinions. It's not just about literally debunking. And I am seeing more of the creators I watch expand a little bit from that. Using different techniques, using different subject matter, coming at things from a different perspective. And the more rounded that perspective is, again, the stronger this community becomes.